Hello, everybody. Welcome to another match in the Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent League. Today we have Fur versus Orolme. I am joined by Ganon Slayer. How's it going, dude? How are you feeling about this matchup?
I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty close one. Obviously, both runners are very capable of doing great things today, and I'm just
Yeah,
looking forward to see what both of them are able to pull off.
yeah, for sure. In terms of leaderboard times, Fur does have the better time. However, Orolme has been improving incredibly quickly, so I think it's hard to say just who will come out on top for this one.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so starting out here in Cap Kingdom, the most basic kingdom. Interesting little tidbit though. Recently, a runner that you've probably seen in this league as well, Dansta, 2106, recently got a 218 cap.
Yeah, Dance is actually insane at Cap.
Yeah,
He's insane at early game in general. I'm pretty sure he currently has records for best Cap, Cascade, and Sand exits,
he
which
did get.
is
Yeah, he did have the record for the best sand exit, but he recently got beaten by Equan.
oh, Ekwan took it back.
Yeah. Oh, for
Ooh.
taking a bonk there right at the beginning. So yeah, although most people probably aren't the most fond of this kingdom, just because it's the kingdom you see the most. Dansta is actually very consistent.
Yeah.
Alright, so just making their way into the frog room. We're gonna see an interesting thing here from both runners. So as you see here, they're doing motion control jumps and moving side to side, and what that's called vectoring. And basically, what that does is it allows the frog to gain more speed in the air, which allows the frog to also gain more distance.
Yeah, Orolme messing up his left side setup, but
Oh yeah,
I think he's knows the backup, or he's just gonna go around.
yeah. Orolme having an unfortunate left side fail there. Gonna lose him quite a bit of time over Fur.
For
So
getting a really clean topper though, that was
yeah, yeah. Other than that one bonk at the beginning, Fur actually had a pretty good Cap Kingdom. Definitely coming out ahead in front of Orolme out of Cap. However, this is only the first kingdom, and of course anything can happen.
right. Pretty sure Fur's looking at a 227 and I mean 225, sorry, and Orolme is looking at I think around a 233.
Yeah,
Yeah. So once again, around 8 seconds of difference exiting cap, which is quite a bit, but nothing that can't be made up later.
yeah, for sure. All right, so now we're entering Cascade, and we're gonna see a few things here in quick succession. The first thing here will be a trick called First Moon Skip. So what Fur is gonna do, and Orolme, is Fur having a little bit of trouble with this water movement, but he's gonna bypass this invisible wall here. There's a little hole in that invisible wall that you can get through, skip the first moon, and now he's gonna capture this dino, and he's gonna use a conveniently placed trampoline to.
Ooh.
Oh, Orolme taking a bonk there.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal though. He's gonna use this conveniently placed trampoline to hop up as a dinosaur and get to this boss fight earlier than you're supposed to. Normally you're supposed to climb up that whole mountain to get
Right.
to that boss fight.
That saves a
So
lot of time over the
yeah,
casual.
yeah, absolutely. And so as far as the first moon skip,
Ooh.
ooh,
For
so
having a
what?
little trouble with the Madame Brood fight right now.
Yeah. So what happened there is that although he did get the capture on the chain chomp, he was a little bit too close to the boss fight barrier, and for some reason, if you're too close to it, it won't let you pull the chain chomp back and throw it
Right.
back at Madame Brood. So he
The
had to
re
kind of like turn around and go behind her.
Yeah, the reason for that is that you need to extend the chain chomp fully. So if you're too close, then the chain chomp can't go far enough out to be able
Yeah.
to fly back.
I also want to mention that the trick that they did, the first moon skip, um, it's actually only available on 1.0. You can only do that trick on 1.0. You can skip uh, you can skip the first moon on 1.2 as well. However, the Madame Brutal boss fight won't activate unless you've gotten the first moon. So it's only useful for speedruns on 1.0.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, we're doing a cool roll cancel jump here, and he's going to be coming up on the last trick in Cascade Kingdom, which is chest clip. I assume he'll be going for the faster variant. Let's see.
Yep.
Yep, that looks good. That should work. Yep, that was
And it's
nice.
looking like Orolme got it too. Oh no,
Ooh,
actually just barely. He was just
yeah.
barely too low.
Gets pushed
Didn't
out, but
get
gets a nice backup.
Yeah. So that chess clip that you saw there, basically, uh, they're they're throwing their hat at the same time that they collect the moon, and for whatever reason, that gives them an extra amount of height. It kind of warps them up slightly when they grab the moon, and that allows them to kind of clip into the ceiling, get to the globe a
Yeah.
little faster. We're actually going to see that same concept with the moon clip in Wooded and also possibly Snow Kingdom.
Yeah. Wooded being the most important though, because the wooded nut clip can save around 30 seconds if done optimally over
Yeah,
just basically they're going to be grabbing some out of bounds moons, which will look pretty cool.
yeah.
Reaching some areas you're not supposed to be able to reach yet.
You're definitely it's definitely not as big a deal missing that chest clip as it is to miss the wooded clip. So
Right.
hopefully both these runners are able to get that. But now entering Sand Kingdom. This kingdom has a lot of really hard movement and really hard tricks, particularly Sphinx Clip and Dram, which we'll be seeing here in a moment.
Yes. Um
All right, so looks like both runners are going for this rumble room, which I expected. There
yeah.
actually was a little bit of routing changes in Sand involving skipping this room and getting the Crates Moon instead, which we normally skip. However, it's really new and it's still really hard and not that well understood. So it makes sense that in a race, both these runners will be going for the normal route.
Right, the only top runner I've really seen go for it like in runs is Ekwon. So like I'm not surprised that neither of them are going for it either. It's really
Yeah,
hard and it only saves like I think 3 to 5 seconds if done optimally. So in a race setting, it's probably not
yeah,
the best thing to go for.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so
For
now the Dram strat. What we're gonna see here is for up throwing and throwing his hat towards this bullet bill, capturing this moon, and then homing in his cap to the bullet bill. And we actually see Orolme doing a slightly different version of it called Ice Dram, where he
yeah.
throws his
Ooh,
hat on the ice and he actually misses it there. That's unfortunate. The way Orolme did it there, by jumping off the ice, is actually slightly faster because you capture the bullet bill closer to this moon.
yeah. The only real reason it's faster is because of the bullet bill position afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So
For
now heading
coming
up
up
to
on
Sphinx Clip.
Sphinx Clip. Yeah. Gets first clip, first try. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, this is another trick similar to the first moon skip that can only be done on version 1.0.
Right. See if he can nail the second clip. That was
And
very
he
nice.
does.
Orolme opting to go for the single clip version, where he grabs this moon first and then dives back into the Sphinx room.
Yeah, the way Orolme just did it is slightly slower, but also safer.
Right.
Because if you miss the second clip, if you do double clip and you miss the second clip, if you miss it more than a few times, then the bird cycle will be very hard to catch. And
Yeah.
if you miss it too much, then it'll be just impossible to catch, and you'd have to go for a backup moon that is very slow.
Mhm. For getting Jaxie skip, we have seen a few mess ups on Jaxie skip in the league. So
Yes.
it's
Oh
ooh
no,
oh geez.
that's pretty unfortunate. Orolme crashing his bill into the wall there. Luckily it wasn't that far away from the bullet bill spawner, so
Right,
couldn't that could have been worse.
right. Also having a few issues grabbing the coin's chest, but still made Jaxie skip, so
Yeah, and that's also another good reason that Orolme went for single clip as opposed to double clip. Because if he did double clip and then he crashed that bullet bill like he did, he most likely would have missed this bird cycle.
yeah, almost definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And even now, with the single clip, it'll probably be close. But he should be able to get it.
Yeah.
There he goes. He's barely able to nab it. And now Fur will be exiting Sand Kingdom slightly ahead of Orolme.
Yeah. Fur out to a nice lead out of early game.
Yeah, for sure. That's mostly due to Orolme missing Dram, as well as the difference in Sphinx Clip, as well as some other kind of sloppy stuff in Sand from Orolme, but you know, overall, still not too bad. This league can definitely be made up, especially in the upcoming kingdoms.
Right. Pretty sure we're looking at around like 22 to 23 seconds of difference right now.
Yeah.
But then again, that can be made up, as you were saying.
Also, yeah, and something interesting I want to point out is that Fur actually chose Wooded first. And the reason he's probably doing this is because Wooded's definitely the harder kingdom out of both, so most likely he's just trying to get it out of the way.
Right. He did that yesterday as well, so I assume that's just like his mentality for races currently.
Yeah, for sure. And Orolme going Lake first, so it's actually going to be quite difficult to tell who's ahead and who's behind in these kingdoms. We do know right now Fur has the lead, but who knows? Fur is in one of the hardest kingdoms, so this lead can very easily change.
Right. Wooded's got a lot of tricky bits.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the more movement heavy kingdoms, and it's got a lot of technical stuff, so it's a
Yeah,
lot
including
that can go wrong.
yeah. So what we're gonna see here, you might not be used to seeing this, but Fur's actually gonna be going to get this tree nut, this nut on this tree, and this is a relatively new route. It's been around for a little while now, but it's
Yep.
relatively new. Basically, it skips the story moon in this kingdom, and it saves around 2 seconds if you do it well.
Right. Also, Orolme took a little bunk there exiting the second moon in lake, but it was nothing too major.
Yeah. So
That nut
now,
clip looks good.
yeah, that looks like he will clip what we were talking about earlier. This
Right.
nut clip. He did get the clip, but it's not over yet because this out of bounds movement can be very tricky.
Yep, and okay, he made it up. All he's gotta do is make it up the ramp now.
Yeah, that out of bounds movement can actually be really tricky because
Oh.
oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
he made it. Oh, jeez, that
barely
that
made
scared
that.
me. Oh boy.
Yeah. So, that out of bounds movement, basically what he's trying to do is grab the moon while still staying out of bounds, and you can very easily clip back inside, which is why it's so scary. But luckily, Fur was able to pull it off.
Right. And what I'm wondering is, after he grabs this nut in the maze, I'm wondering if Fur is going to be grabbing the safety checkpoint because he's doing tree route. So if he were to die anywhere and he doesn't grab this checkpoint coming up, then he would spawn all the way back at the shop. So
Yeah, for sure. So, oh,
ooh,
he's actually
okay.
skipping over it.
Risky.
Yeah, so like Ganon was saying, since he's not killing, normally if you kill this this boss and grab the moon, that'll become your new respawn point. But since he's not killing this boss, if he dies, he is gonna respawn all the way back at the shop.
Right.
So, taking a bit of a risk here.
Ooh, okay. Flower Rose skip looks good. And if he can get up here, he should be good. Yeah. Once he enters the tower, that'll become his new respawn point if he dies. So,
Yeah. So,
ooh, he should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Orolme is finishing up Lake and entering Wooded Kingdom as we speak.
Yeah. So now for making his way up this tower, and we're actually going to see something kind of interesting. Basically, Fur is going to skip over the boss fight of this stage, the Spirit fight, and opt to get 3 other moons. And when you watch it, it might look really slow, but it does save around 5 seconds. Ooh, for actually taking a blank there. But this does save around 5 seconds, and the reason for that is because there is a very long multi-moon grab cutscene after the boss fight. So by getting these moons, it skips that, and this will save around 5 seconds.
Right. Now he's gonna be heading into Flooded Pipes way. Ooh, I like that
Ooh.
spin pound strat. That was
very
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Very stylish from Fur.
Haven't
So
seen
we'll
many
now
people do that.
Yeah, and we'll see Orolme actually doing the old route for Wooded, not getting the tree nut moon, opting to instead get the story moon. And he did get the nut cliff, that's nice.
Yeah, now he's gonna be entering into the Wooded movement, the Wooded out of bounds movement while Fur is finishing up Wooded.
Yeah. And you see him actually tilt up his camera there. That's just a slight little, it gives a little visual cue, makes that part a little bit easier. Not that much slower, so he's not losing that much time over Fur by doing that.
Right.
Alright, so although Fur may look extremely ahead right now, keep in mind he does still have to do Lake Kingdom, which Orolme has already done.
Right. Fur has shown some really good consistency with Lake Clip recently too, so I assume he'll be going for it in this race, which will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, we saw Orolme actually didn't do Lake Clip when he did Lake, so if Fur is able to successfully get Lake Clip, that's more time that he'll be making up over Orolme. So there, Orolme killing that Piranha Plant. Again, the slight difference in strategies there.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Coming up on Lake Clip shortly.
Okay. Right after this moon.
Yeah. So basically, he's gonna throw his hat into this little seam in the wall. It looks like he gets it there. And
Ooh,
ground pounding
nice.
on this out of bounds spot. Up throwing his cap, getting that checkpoint flag, and then going down to get this moon in the chest. And then warping back up.
That was
Now,
solid. Second try.
Yeah. Although that is a really fast sequence of events, it's actually extremely difficult. Probably one of the most difficult tricks in this entire speedrun.
Yeah, like the fact that people have gotten consistent enough at it to go for it in races is still mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, exactly. This used to be considered a BTT only strat.
Yeah.
And it's now being gone for in runs.
Yep.
So yeah, that's actually really difficult because basically Fur had to navigate out of bounds and kind of, he had to land on a very small piece of ground out of bounds and then he had to avoid the ceiling and to get that wall jump and up throw to get that checkpoint flag. So that's actually really difficult.
Yep.
And Orolme taking a ground stun animation there won't lose him too much time. So very, very good lake from Fur.
Yeah.
Amazing lake from Fur.
And Orolme is now going to be entering Flooded Pipes to finish up Wooded. And now here we should be able to see the time difference.
Yeah. So Fur captured that globe at around 1830 or so.
Yeah. Which would still be sub 19 fade out, which is really good. That's really solid for races.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see Orolme getting this.
So yeah, looking at around, I'd say 32, 33 seconds of difference now.
Yeah.
Once again, nothing too major. Like something can happen in Fur's run and then Orolme could catch back up.
Yeah, we are now entering the mid-game portion of the run, which is incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Fur going for Cloud Boost, or the boost list thing though, but that's still, that looks so cool. Oh my.
Yeah, that's a very cool strat that I believe Fur is the only top runner that's going for it at the moment. I could be wrong about that, but
I'm
it's
pretty sure
definitely
you're right.
yeah, it's a really hard strat. So now the Cloud Kingdom boss fight. Although it kind of looks simple, there's actually a few things going on here. So first of all, he's gonna get that really fast hat grab. And now he's gonna, as you saw, he was kind of moving behind Bowser there, and he unfortunately failed it, but what he was trying to do was, he was trying to hit Bowser uh, across from him, because the way Bowser works in this fight is he'll always jump to the platform directly across from Mario. So by manipulating which space he lands on, you can manipulate how many platforms that Bowser will jump.
Right. And the main goal is to make it so Bowser only jumps one platform in
Yeah,
between each phase.
so that's why you see them kind of jumping behind Bowser.
Right.
And also what we see here is they're kind of getting really close to this hat and then backflipping, so that the moment that the hat becomes tangible or vulnerable, you can grab it right away.
Yep. Fur now entering Lost Kingdom, doing a pretty tricky jump called Mean Tree to get up to the first moon. Nails
Yeah,
that. That was good.
yeah, and the reason that he's doing that jump is because this kingdom has a famous, or shall I say infamous, bird named Klepto, who will steal Mario's hat when you get to a certain point in the kingdom. So by taking this alternate route, we're actually able to skip over the Klepto trigger.
Yeah, and that's very useful for speedrunning.
Yeah, this saves a lot of time.
Right, Klepto
And
has a few cutscenes tied to him, so...
yeah, so we'll see Klepto's right here. What he's gonna do is jump on this step and activate Klepto. So what he did there is oh no, he took a little bonk there. No big deal though. What Fur did there was he kind of tricked the game into thinking Klepto was activated, but he didn't actually activate and steal Mario's hat. So now that he's done that, he doesn't have to worry about activating Klepto anymore.
Right, he can stand anywhere in the kingdom, and Klepto won't take Cappy.
Yeah. And we'll see Orolme do the same thing here. And
Yep.
the last few moons in this kingdom, you saw Fur do a cage triple strat there. And get this moon under the bridge, and that is about it for Lost for Fur.
Ooh, up throw dive strat. That's some
Yeah.
swag.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool strat there. Saves about half a second or so.
Yeah, like 0.3. It's...
Yeah.
It's also pretty easy. Like, if you're far enough out from the moon, then you can pretty much go for that at any skill level, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
For heading into Night Metro, which is one of the more, I guess, movement intensive portions
Yeah,
of the game. There's a
for
lot
sure.
of vertical climbing in Night Metro, be it to get to
Yeah.
the first moon or in the city hall.
And there's also, at the end of this kingdom, the Mechwiggler boss fight, which is incredibly RNG intensive. It's actually one of the few moments in this game that RNG plays a big factor.
Yeah,
And we'll be seeing that soon.
right. The second phase, the patterns you get are, I think, entirely random. I think there are a few ways to manipulate it. If I'm not wrong, I saw Curbs upload a video on
Yeah,
Mechawiggler
Curbs
manipulation.
did have a possible Mechawiggler manipulation, but it's pretty preliminary. It's not certain whether or not it actually works or not. It still needs testing, but yeah, Little Curbs did come up with a possible way to manipulate the patterns.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fur now entering the City Hall portion of Night Metro, which looks really cool if done well, so let's see what he goes for here. Okay,
Yeah.
making the elevator cycle.
Yeah, similar to the Flooded Pipeways in Wooded, it's actually a cycle-based room, so if you even mess up your movement just a little bit, you possibly will miss the cycle and lose a lot of time.
Right.
Ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
So what, for actually going for the chest jump, normally you would jump up to the higher platform and do that jump across that gap. However, Fur went for a harder version of that, but
Mhm.
he did get it, and that will pay off for him most likely.
Fur's playing very confidently,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
going for some pretty hard things that could lose him a lot of time, but he's nailing all of them. It's looking pretty
Yeah.
solid.
So
Now,
are only going for this slightly safer version. Sorry, I
right.
cut you off there.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that now Fur's gonna stare at walls for 40 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
He's also doing a bit of Mecha Wiggler manipulation here just to make the Wiggler run the shortest distance to get
Yeah,
that middle phase over with as fast as possible.
are only having a little bit of trouble with those shots there. Not a big
Mhm.
deal.
Let's see
Alright,
what
so
pattern
yeah,
Fur gets here. That's looking really good.
yeah, that's a nice pattern.
Ooh, okay,
Alright,
he should be good though.
good.
Yeah,
That can be really tricky, especially if you get a bad pattern, because the hitboxes on this boss fight aren't the best. Basically the goal is to kill this thing in only 2 cycles, but if you get a bad pattern, or the hitboxes kind of screw you over, you can actually miss that second cycle kill and have to wait for a third cycle, which
right.
is obviously a huge time loss.
Right, there are a few patterns that actually make it impossible to get a 2-cycle, which is really stupid, but luckily
Alright,
that
so
didn't happen to either owner.
yeah. Alright, so now they're heading into the day metro portion, which is also very movement intensive. There's a
Yeah.
lot of there's the thing about day metro is that you're probably most time losses in this kingdom won't come from huge mistakes, but rather just little movement mistakes that add up over the course of it, like that.
Oh,
For
yeah,
actually capturing that pylon
right.
prematurely.
Gets the Metro Dram after the moon though, still. So, could have
Yeah,
gone worse. Now he's going to be going for a scooter clip. That
and
was a
he
nice
gets it.
drive-by. Ooh,
Yeah, that was very clean.
yes.
So the way that clip works is basically you can, if you tilt your controller and kind of manipulate the motion controls, you can tilt the scooter just far enough so that Mario just can barely grab the moon inside of that cage.
Right, and when he says tilt the controller, he means like really tilt the controller.
Yeah, yeah. If you've ever watched a runner with a face cam or a hand cam before, when you see
Yeah,
them at scoot clips, you might see them tilting their controller like almost upside down.
for taking a small bonk there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was practicing Scoot Clip earlier, I play on Procon, so I was literally just holding the controller upside down.
Yeah,
Ooh.
actually, that's one thing. Fur actually plays on Joy-Cons, which is not the most popular choice. For most top runners will opt to play with Procon, but Joy-Cons actually do have a few benefits, such as being able to do down throws. Procons, for whatever reason, can't do down throws.
Yeah,
And down throws are actually optimal in a few places.
right.
Yeah, interestingly, if you watch a top speedrun, you'll see them in parts of it switch their Procon for Joy-Cons just to do a down throw in a specific spot.
Right. Mostly, like, the one that most top runners do is in Lake Kingdom to capture
Yeah,
HQ cheap as fast as possible. That saves, like, around a second.
yeah, and as well as that, also, uh, Joy-Cons make scooter clip a little bit easier because the motion controls are easier to deal with.
Right, you don't have to hold your controller, like, all the way upside down. I mean, you do, kinda, but I think it's a little more lenient.
Yeah, yeah, it is more lenient for sure.
For getting the triple jump over to the trash moon. And I assume he's gonna be going for the dive or not.
Ooh,
Ooh, ooh.
for he went for a little spin found strategy there. Unfortunately missed it. However, like Gannon pointed out earlier, Fur is playing extremely confidently this race, going
Mhm.
for a lot of cool strats, and
Yep.
some of them are paying off for sure. However,
Ooh.
some, like you just saw, aren't paying off as much.
Right. He still hasn't made any real major mistakes though. And
Yeah,
that's the strat I was talking about, Orolme doing the dive straight to that moon.
yeah. And Fur heading towards the end of Metro. All he has is People's Room left, and he will be done. And Orolme following close behind.
Pretty sure Orolme's Metro has been really good too. I haven't seen any big mistakes.
Yeah, neither runners have made big mistakes, and like I pointed out, that's really the name of the game for this kingdom. Is that's really, it's all just movement. That's where you're going to be losing your time. You're probably not going to be making huge mistakes. It all
Yeah,
comes down to just these little mistakes.
Metro is one of the cooler looking kingdoms though, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though it's really hard in some areas.
Yeah.
Alright.
So both runners finishing up Metro, and while they do that, I would like to quickly mention our event Pace that is coming up in April. You can type !tickets to learn more. It's speedrunning's first competitive live event, and it's going to be held over a 4-day period. It's going to include the finals bracket for Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, and the Celeste League. There will be cash prizes for the runners. Again, !tickets to learn more. You will not want to miss that.
Orolme actually made up quite a bit of time there. He's 22-ish seconds behind, whereas he was around 32 exiting Wooded. So he's been coming back a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, Fur decided to go Seaside first. I don't know if he's low on coins or if he's just going to Seaside first.
Yeah, he may be similar to Wooded, get the hard stuff out of the way because Seaside did recently get rerouted. Yeah, his coin count is fine, so it's looking like he is going here possibly to get the new route out of the way.
Right.
Seaside was rerouted recently to include a clip that saves around 5 seconds. It skips the Notes Moon.
Yeah, it replaces it with entering the Sphinx room from out of bounds. Looks really cool.
Yeah. So again, similar to Wooded, it's going to be a little bit hard to tell who's ahead and who's behind here.
Yeah. No major mistakes from runners in either Seaside or Snow so far either, so can assume that the time difference is still about the same.
Yeah. And now we will see, here's the route change. Instead of going towards Notes. Ooh, another interesting down throw strat there.
Nice.
Again, the Joy-Cons coming in handy.
Yeah, I was wondering why he wasn't holding neutral. I forgot
Yeah.
that he plays on Joy-Cons.
I don't actually think that down throw saves time. However, it may make it more consistent or easier to capture
maybe,
that.
Right, maybe more comfortable.
Yeah.
I want to see, does Orolme go for Snowclip?
Yeah, we'll see here in a second. It's looking like, yeah, he's gonna try it, and it looks like he got it as well.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Oh no, he just barely missed it. That's not a huge deal.
Right. Speaking of clips, Fur's gonna be coming up on the new Seaside reroute after he grabs one more moon.
Yeah, and Orolme entering this poison room, another cycle-based room. But he did make a good cycle there, which is nice.
Alright, so yeah, Fur is at the new Seaside route. He's going to be using this Cheep to clip out of bounds.
Yeah.
And he's going to be grabbing 2 moons.
Yeah, he basically kind of wedged the Cheep into that invisible wall, uncaptured it, and then swam away a little bit and recaptured it, which allowed him to completely clip inside the invisible wall and out of bounds. It's kind of a weird clip.
I mean, the glitch hunting community for this game is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, people find stuff, and then people find uses for stuff, and the run keeps getting more and more optimized. And
yeah,
it's so cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. So now, Orolme in the Goomba room, and he's going to be heading up on Snowdram soon, which is definitely a Monk S.
Yeah.
We'll see in a second here what happens.
Yeah, Snowdram is probably one of the riskiest tricks in the game, because if you miss it, there is 0 backup.
Yeah, there is no backup.
Try again. Every time
exactly.
It's around 20 seconds, I think, if you miss it, so. Let's hope
Yeah.
nothing bad happens there.
Exactly. So all Orolme has to do is get this shop moon and then warp and do Snowdram, and he'll be done with snow.
Yep. I don't know if what Fur just did there was intentional, but still making his way over to the first moon quite well. He did a
Yeah.
bit of weird movement. Pretty sure that was unintentional, but once again, nothing too major.
Yeah. All right. Time for Snowdram. Get your speedrun S's in the chat.
Monk ass dude. I'm scared.
Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, he's taking his time with the setup though. That looks good.
Oh
Oh!
no!
I shouldn't have
His,
said anything. Oh.
his rainbow spin looks like he pressed A a little bit too late there.
Yeah, I think he tried to delay it too much. Ooh.
Yeah. That is unfortunate.
That's
That's
really
exactly-
unfortunate. Oh.
See.
There we go.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get it a second try.
Right.
That is really unfortunate that happened though.
Yeah, I think Fur's gonna be going for the snow clip we saw Orolme go for earlier. Maybe he can get it. That looks
Me?
good if the cap throw timing was good. Ah,
Ugh.
still
Also
though.
just yeah, and that's not a huge deal. Like we were saying earlier, these other moon clips only save like a second or two. It's the one in wooded that really matters, and luckily both runners did get that one.
Right. And obviously that's probably the one they've practiced a ton more because it matters way more in context of the run.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. Orolme now gonna be entering Seaside. And if you're just tuning in, Fur went to Seaside first, so there's not as big of a difference as there appears to be currently. There's, we should be able to see like a more accurate time difference at the end of their respective kingdoms.
Yeah.
Alright. So, after the Goomba Room, Fur's gonna have to grab the Shot Moon, then he's gonna be going for Snowdram. If he gets that first try, he'll gain an even bigger lead over Orolme, which would be pretty interesting. That would
Yeah.
help him out a lot. And if he misses it, then Orolme could make up quite a bit of time off of that.
Alright, so we see Orolme going for this new Seaside route as well. Alright, now coming up on Snowdram.
Right.
Once again, let's get all our prayers in the chat, all our blessed RNGs
Yeah.
for Snowdram.
Ooh. Such a scary trick. Like, it scares me even when I'm just watching the runs.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Oof.
just because, like you were saying, there's really no backup for this trick.
Right.
It's so scary. It's so intimidating. It's right at the end of the kingdom. No backup. Loses 20 whole seconds every time you miss it.
Right. It would be cool if there was a backup, but there aren't really many moon options in pre-peace snow.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
Fur making that by a margin, actually. That was...
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Fur making up even more time on Orolme.
Yeah, saving approximately 20 seconds there. But as we're talking about Orolme, he's now going to be going for the new Seaside reroute. Gets the clip, but the most important part is getting this moon while staying out of bounds. And he should be good. That looks good. Yep. Alright.
Alright, so now heading into luncheon. And this is a very hard kingdom. Now this is kind of getting into the end game where some really hard kingdoms are coming up.
Right.
So this lead can definitely change. This race is by no means over. Although Fur is pretty ahead right now, into these
Yes.
really hard kingdoms, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. Luncheon has a lot of cool strats that can either go very well or very poorly.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
also Luncheon is one of those kingdoms where just like small optimizations in movement can go along. Like it can look like they're playing the same, but then one will come out a few seconds faster
Yeah,
just because of
absolutely.
how much movement there is. Alright.
So now heading into the Spirit fight, and this is actually probably the slowest moon, definitely the slowest moon in this whole kingdom. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you have to fight the Spirit fight, and it only gives you a single moon. However, it has a huge cutscene attached to it. Unfortunately, just no way. There's no faster way to skip this fight. Unfortunately, just
Yeah,
kind of have to go with it.
kinda sucks. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's just how the game was made.
Yeah, I'm hoping someday we'll be able to skip this spirit fight. There actually is a way to skip it, involving a really hard jump from the painting island to the kingdom to get to the kingdom early.
Right.
There's some weird shenanigans with that, but that route is unfortunately uh, that does
Yeah.
allow you to skip this fight, but it is a little bit slower.
Yeah, that jump, like, that you're talking about, it's called Bruncheon. It's actually used in one of the category extensions, but it's currently has no use in any percent.
Yeah.
It's used in star percent, though.
All right. So fur now. Actually interesting. There is you can actually roll on the top of that little mountain there, and it's a little bit faster, I believe.
Mm-hmm. He might be trying to play it safe now that he's in the later game.
Yeah, it's definitely the way he did it is easier to optimize, and I don't really see any runners going for the mountain roll, but I thought I'd point it out
I
because that was
mean,
discovered kind of recently.
yeah, I mean, Equan does it, but that's Equan, so
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. I
yeah.
guess you are right about that.
For grabbing the pop moon while Orolme is now entering the plaza section.
Yeah, and what we're gonna see here is normally what runners would do is turn their camera upwards, and what that does is keep this fireball off screen,
Mm-hmm.
so that, however, Fur is opting not to manipulate the camera.
That's gonna be close. Okay, he got it.
Yeah,
Camera nip
and
strat slightly more optimal. I mean,
yeah,
no camera nip. Sorry.
yeah. To make that cycle, normally runners would manipulate their camera and turn it upwards. However, you can actually still make the cycle without manipulating the camera. It's just much tighter.
Yeah. Let's see. Is Orolme is gonna be going for a camera manipulus as well.
That looks good as long as you get the spin pound.
Yep, that looks solid. He should be capturing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
very beautiful.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh! Okay. Jeez.
That was very scary.
That scared me. Jeez.
For just giving us a little bit of a heart attack here, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine.
That turnip position actually looks a little bit scary, but it should be fine.
Yeah.
As long okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he lost his speed there. A little unfortunate,
I
but
think that turnip's too far right.
yeah, it is. He has to reposition this.
Yeah.
No big deal. What I was really concerned about there was that he was going to fall into the lava and destroy the turnip, which would have been way more costly.
Yeah.
But fortunately, he was able to avoid that. He did like lose his speed and kind of have a slow turnip clip, but that's definitely much better than destroying the turnip.
Right. Orolme grabbing the gold turnip.
Yeah.
Just because
Extra
why not?
style points here.
Yep.
Orolme also getting kind of close to that lava. Kind of
Yeah.
scary.
That
Yeah.
position looks good. Yeah, that should work. Or
No,
not.
it seems a little bit too far. The turnip just seems a
yeah.
little bit too far away.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like a hair off.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna work, but ooh. There we go.
And that turnip clip, similar to Sphinx clip in FMS, first moon skip, is a 1.0 exclusive trick.
Right.
So if you're running on 1.2 and want to try that, you'll be wasting a lot of time, like I did. I remember
Oh.
I thought that when I played on 1.2 and I didn't know that it was an exclusive trick, and I spent like 2 hours trying to get that.
Ow.
So
That-
yeah, don't make the same mistake as me. That
Yeah.
is a 1.0 exclusive.
I'm glad I had watched a ton of runs before I tried to get serious about the game.
Yeah.
I probably would have made the same mistake. Ooh, that's
Oh.
scary. Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
That
He's
was a
good.
little bit scary. Orolme
Yeah.
could have fallen and died there.
Yeah, that would have been extremely costly. Fur has now finished up Luncheon Kingdom, and it looks like Orolme is gonna finish it up in a nice way as well.
Yeah. Alright, so now heading into Ruined Kingdom. This is kind of like the calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little breather before you get into Bowser's, which is one of the most difficult kingdoms in this game.
Right. Ruined is basically a 3-minute auto scroller.
Yeah. you know, you know, people don't give Ruined enough credit, you know what I'm saying? Like, pulling these swords out of his head can actually be pretty tricky. Like,
yeah, dude. Like,
your
you
hat
actually
can...
have to aim and throw your
Yeah,
hat? Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. So,
You have to press buttons?
a lot of people... people don't give this kingdom enough credit. I... but yeah, it's basically just...
Yeah.
It's kind of like a breather kingdom
Yeah.
before Bowser's.
Right. I mean, it is possible to die here, but I doubt that either runner is gonna do that.
Yeah. It's a pretty easy kingdom. You won't be losing too much time here.
There are some small optimizations like damage boosting, get onto the dragon faster, like Fergus did. But other
Yeah.
than that, there's not really many strats that you can do to speed up this kingdom.
Yeah. All right, so like we were saying, kind of a hard kingdom to commentate because not much going on.
Yeah. I mean, if you've never seen it before, it might be pretty interesting. Like, I had fun
Yeah.
with it in my casual playthrough, but...
Yeah, it's actually a really cool kingdom. Like, the boss fight is really cool looking, and it has a really cool atmosphere. But if you speedrun this game, you've seen it a million times. It kind of loses its initial punch that it once had.
Right. Every time, like, I watch a run, sometimes I forget Ruined exists. Like, I'll just be doing a run, and then I'll finish luncheon, then I get ready to do Bowser's, and I forget that this kingdom, like, is even a thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's easy to kind of gloss over this one because it's pretty easy. However, there are a few things that can go wrong, such as you can miss your hat throw, or your cat can home in to not home into one of the swords.
Yeah.
Alright, so Fur done with Ruin now, and heading
Yeah.
into Bowser's.
Bowser's is, once again, I'd say it's probably maybe the most technical kingdom, because, like, there's the Shards Moon, which has a lot of, like, tech involved in it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing about Bowser's is it's the most linear kingdom in this game. You have to do it in a certain order. There's no say. You have to do like each moon in a certain order. There are a few moons that you can like swap out, but as far as story moons go, you have to do them in a certain order. And
Right.
so Shards, which we'll see in a second, it's a moon that normally we would just skip right over because it's really hard and really slow, but you're forced to get it. You absolutely have to get Shards
Yeah.
to progress in the kingdom. So we kind of, since we're forced to get some of these like slow story moons, we had to find ways to optimize them as much as we can.
Yeah. Also, I like how First been showing off some cutscene spin pounds at the beginning of Kingdoms. actually learned this from LimCube yesterday. The game, like, registers walking on the ramp, like walking down the ramp as gameplay, so you can buffer spin pounds during that.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. For getting triple jump ogre as well. Very clean beginning segment.
Alright, and Orolme entering Bowser's as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Fur will be heading into shards, which is what we were just talking about. And like Ganon was saying, this is actually probably one of the most movement intensive and technical moons in the game. There's just like so much that goes into it, and you can lose a lot of time just by making simple movement mistakes.
Ooh. Orolme had a different way of doing the climb there in the first moon segment. That looked really nice.
Yeah, it's actually slightly faster to do it the way he did there.
Okay. For getting dive back, that was nice.
Yeah,
Alright.
clean shards so far. There's actually a down throw strat here you can do
Yep.
on these shards. Let's see if he does it. And he does.
Ooh, dude,
Very clean.
that looks so nice.
Yeah, that was an absolutely incredible shards by Fur.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
amazing.
super solid.
No mistakes there.
Ooh, okay, that was a little scary. I thought he was gonna dive straight off the edge.
Yeah, that was really clean. Flawless shards from Fur there.
Right. Furd's also gonna be coming up on another pretty cool looking strat called Bowser's Rim, and I assume he's gonna be going for it. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
is.
All right. It's looking good, and that should work. The positioning looked good, as long as.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
that moon. That moon, Orolme having a little bit of trouble with that shard grab. That moon can actually be quite scary, that Bowser Ram one, because you can get what's called a value dive. And
Oh yeah.
can cause Mario to just dive right off the edge.
Mhm.
So luckily that didn't happen.
Oh,
And
oh my
as well,
God.
we're going to be seeing a signature strat from Fur here.
Furry.
Fur Harriet strat. He actually came up with this strat. By going into first person and aiming your... Oh no!
Ooh. Okay. You know what? It's fine. It's one.
Yeah,
It's one hit.
that's
but
just...
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, by going into first person mode and positioning Mario in specific locations, you can throw your hat out and hit the bomb right back to Harriet.
Yeah, and that actually saves around a second over the fight because the bomb gets hit back at Harriet a lot faster.
Yeah. I also like how he's going for some spin pound roll cancels after the hits. Those look
Yeah.
really clean. Fur doing a pretty cool beginning topper strat too with that spin pound. Spin throw. Jeez. But yeah. Messing up my terms a little bit here, but overall, that was a very clean bunnies from Fur, except for the one little hiccup in the
Yeah.
Harriet fight.
Thank you as well, Fly TV, for the tier 1 subscription.
Yes.
Alright,
Thanks.
so finishing up, Orolme actually going for those first person strats as well. Alright, so now heading into the final part of Bowser's, there's gonna be some Pokio movement as well as this Crates Moon before entering the mech fight, which is really infamous. It's probably the most infamous boss fight in this game.
Right. If Fur makes a mistake on mech, that would give Orolme a chance to catch up a bit. So
Yeah. Now
Mech
he just has to make this kind of scary jump there. The camera's not in your favor there.
gets a nice instant capture on the Pokios as well.
Yeah. Now he's just gonna do this Pokio movement. Ooh, messing up a little bit, but he didn't fall, so it's not a big
Right.
deal.
Recovered that pretty well.
Yeah. And
now-
now
Entering Mecha Brutal. Okay. This is another pretty monk ass moment. This fight is rather infamous. It's got some of the coolest and craziest looking movement. Saves
Yeah.
probably the most time over casual strats in any boss fight in this game.
All right, so he's gonna climb up this leg, hit this first bubble, completely skipping climbing up this boss with Pokio. He is now on top of the boss fight. Gonna do a cool spin pound strat here on topper.
Shout out to Goryu,
Yeah, Goryu did actually come up with that strat. So yeah, basically, he's now on top of this fight, which you're normally just supposed to get up here with one of the Pokio birds, but we skipped over that. He's now going to be hitting this third Harriet bubble, and he's gonna...
Yep, setting up for the last hit on Spirit. That looks good.
Nice. That was a little bit scary, but he did get it.
Yeah.
So he gets a nice fast spin pound on that third, or on that final bubble there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Orolme having some
okay.
issues with the leg climb, but he backed that up
didn't
really nicely. Didn't fall.
as long as he didn't fall, that's not a huge deal.
Yeah. If you fall, you have to reposition yourself, and that's just not fun.
Yeah. Alright, so Fur with a very clean mech.
Yes.
Not falling off, and now exiting Bowser's Kingdom and heading into Moon, the final kingdom of the game.
Moon has some pretty interesting stuff. Like, 2D skip, which...
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh.
Dude, that's gotta hurt.
Get your speedrun hands in the chat. What looked like it happened there is that the lag from the Mecha Brutal caused his input to drop.
Yeah. Oh
However, he's
wait,
actually
200 IQ backup?
Yeah, he's actually going
nice.
for a really cool backup here. However, that's still really unfortunate that happened.
Yeah, I think he dropped a few inputs there. When going for that last spirit hit, it's called target acquired, not top required. Target acquired. You have to do your dives basically as fast as possible in order for it to work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's rather unfortunate, but he was still able to back it up quite nicely.
All right. Now, heading into Moon Kingdom, actually on a pretty good pace here. It's looking like maybe a 102, 103, which is very respectable.
Yeah, it's definitely 102 pace.
Yeah.
All right. See if he gets some nice vectors over, like we were talking about in Cap Kingdom. Moving Mario diagonally makes him go farther faster for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why it works, but yeah, it works. So
yeah, it's something with the physics of the game. I'm not entirely sure how it works either, but it's actually not exclusive to this game. There's quite a few other games that also have that same thing.
Ooh, side flip moon skip.
Whoa!
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say.
I was not expecting that.
Neither was I.
Expecting him to go for that.
Yeah, well, even though he missed the side flip, he's still showing how confident he is in his skill. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I definitely respect that he even went for that.
Yeah. Side flip moon skip is quite a bit harder than ground pound, mostly because of the fact that you don't get as much height, so it's a little tighter. But he was going for it, messed it up, but still backed it up pretty nicely.
Yeah. Alright, now entering this Bowser fight. It's definitely completely different from the Cloud Bowser fight.
Yep.
It's definitely not just the same boss fight.
Right, because now he breathes fire and it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the fight has more, it just takes longer. That's about it.
And this fire has great hitboxes as well.
Yeah, you can literally roll over the fire.
Yeah, basically that fire is decoration.
Yeah.
The hitboxes on that fire is pretty laughable.
Yeah, and Orolme getting a nice first try moon skip. as we speak, and for once again just jumping through the fire.
Yeah, just showing how good these hitboxes are.
Yep.
All right.
Quite lenient, I'd say.
Now, yeah, I'd say so as well. Grabbing this final hat, and he's basically done with this Bowser fight. As Orolme enters it.
Yeah, first going to be entering the last portion of the game, the escape sequence.
Yeah, and this actually shows quite a good time difference. They're about a whole Moon Kingdom Bowser fight.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Kenfer, yeah, this is 102 pace.
Yeah, he can definitely 102 this.
And I don't know if it's possible to 101. I haven't looked at the times.
Yeah, I don't. He can't 101 anymore unless he gets. I don't even think a BTT escape at this point. But
I mean,
but 102 is very respectable.
Yes, definitely.
Assuming of course this escape goes well. I don't want to speak too soon.
Right, same. don't want to do any commentators curse shenanigans.
Yeah.
Right, coming up on 2D skip.
Let's see.
Okay,
he gets it.
Yep, that was nice.
That's not too hard of a strategy. However, since it's like right at the end of the game, it can be pretty nerve-wracking.
Right, and it's another one of those things where it's minimal gain but a lot of risk if you miss it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you miss it, then you start all the way back at the beginning of escape. So yeah.
Actually, a 101 may have been possible with a BTT.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that it's possible anymore.
Yeah, but definitely 102 pace. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
That was a nice early
Yeah.
Going for the early shots on it too, and one of those is gonna so. Alright.
Alright, and for heading into this last pillar, a little bit of trouble with that aiming. Alright. And it's looking like Fur does have this one in the bag. Closing out with a low 102, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's really good. Looking like
like a 102.09, I'd say.
Yeah, probably a high 8. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
But still, that's very respectable time.
That's an amazing race time. Yes, and it's looking like Orolme is on a 103 pace, which is also amazing.
Yes, indeed. See if he can close out with the good pillars. Also getting the early pillar strat. That was solid.
And yeah, it's looking like Orolme will close out with a mid 103, which is also absolutely amazing for a race, or even just in general. It's a great time.
Right. Like, yeah, 103 is still amazing. Like,
yeah,
the fact that he had like a few major mistakes and he still gets a 103, that just shows his potential.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
And 103.17.
So definitely some great gameplay from both runners. Obviously, Orolme did make a few little mistakes here and there, or I shouldn't say little. There were a few big mistakes here and there, such as failing Snowdram, falling off mech, but you know, still a really decent gameplay and a really decent time to close out with.
And it looks like we have Fur joining us here for a quick after-race interview.
Hi.
Hey, how would you describe that run? Like, what are your overall feelings on it?
It was just overall alright. There wasn't really anything in particular that went, like, specifically bad, but I don't think anything went, like, super duper well either.
Yeah, you did nail a few of the really hard stuff, like lake clip, mech, you know, nut clip. So those
Yeah.
things that you absolutely nailed.
Yeah.
So closing out with a low 102, is there anything perhaps that you would have done differently?
I probably shouldn't have gone for side flip FMS or moon skip. I'll be honest, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I got it yesterday in my race, so that's why I went for it.
Yeah.
But
We did point that out. You did play pretty confidently this race, going for some pretty difficult strategies, but they did seem to pay off in the end.
Yeah. I'm working on updating a lot of my strats, but I'm doing it kind of slowly. So there's only like a few tricky things I've added so far, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. All right, GG once again. And I would also like to quickly again mention Pace. You can type !! tickets in the chat to learn more. It's going to be held over a 4-day period. It's going to feature the finals brackets for Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, and Celeste. So yeah, you won't want to miss that! Tickets in the chat to learn more. Fur, thank you so much for being here. Congrats on your win again.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's going to be it for us today. We are going next up, Celeste Any %. You won't want to miss that. And thank you guys all for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you later.